Hi there. I'm so excited to launch here at the end of 2024 in the Medicare season this live show we call House of Healthcare. We're discussing many topics of healthcare in this live show in October and November, including the main parts of Medicare A, Medicare B, and Medicare D. We'll dive into questions you should be asking when you're considering how to fill those Medicare gaps, including Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement plans. We'll also review types of coverage like dental, vision, and hearing. We also want to highlight the major part of healthcare expenses that Medicare does not cover, custodial care expenses. But before we do all that, I'd like to introduce you to my co-host on the show, Leith. Leith, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on.
Hey, Mark. Good morning to
Just
you.
to let everybody know, Leith and I have known each other for about 20 years. And it was about a year ago, Leith wanted to join up and get into this crazy business of Medicare. And because, tell us a little bit about that, Leith. You're a Medicare beneficiary yourself.
Yes, I am. I won't tell you how many years, but I am a beneficiary. It was challenging at first, trying to figure it out. Even though I've been in the insurance industry, I hadn't been in the Medicare market that much. And so I had a lot of research to do. And as I was doing it, I thought, if I'm having a hard time figuring this out, what about people that have no history in insurance or medical or, whatever? It's very confusing.
Right. No, it has been. And so you've done a good job learning along the way, the little six secrets and the tips, but you also have worked with large employer groups and you consult with retirees working with union members. Is that correct?
That's correct. My past history, my career has been in employee benefits. Gosh, when I first started out, I was a medical assistant way back and was in the medical field for about 15 years. And then I transitioned into insurance, did, straight claims and human resource benefit management for a couple large corporations. So I've got that background, and then I transitioned into insurance when I met Mark and, way back.
Way back, yeah.
So that's my experience. So I kind of just fell into it. I have a working knowledge and,
So let's talk about the retirees today, Leith, these folks that are on Medicare today. And we're talking during this time of annual enrollment period right now, where retirees are being pounded on the TV. They've got the 1-800 call whoever, which company, right? And they're talking about all these changes and things like that. How do you feel like you'll be able to help out these folks if they choose to chat with you on the phone or chat with you on a Zoom or in person or whatever? How do you feel that you'll be able to help these folks that are being pounded by all this information out there? Some of it may not be relevant, but there's pieces of it that they won't see, they may not be seeing, that is relevant. So how do you think you're going to help those folks that are needing that personal touch?
Well, I think the first thing you have to start to, anytime I talk to somebody, I just kind of get ask them questions. What are they looking for? What their living situation is? Do they have a domestic partner or a spouse? Just kind of go through those basic questions so that I can get a feel for what they're looking for and what their needs are. I think the needs are the most important thing. What is your need for Medicare? What is your need for insurance? How do you want to protect yourself?
That's right.
So I think that's the best place to start. Everybody doesn't fall into one bucket.
Right. And that's
Medicare. There's different ways to do it.
Right. And that's the hope, Leith, as we go through with the live show, is to show all the different pieces that you can add. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't, you don't. But at least you see the missing pieces there. We want to share with people those missing pieces along the way. But I think along the lines, too, with people getting pounded with the phone numbers that are on the TVs these days or on the internet or whatever, having someone that is personal available to, and I know that that's been a striving thing of mine for almost 20 years, helping people to be there for those questions. And the Medicare market is really getting to the point where having a personal friend, if you could use that word, to say, I can call up Mark, or I can call up Leith, or call up my personal one, and talk through these things is really something that you have that service hard as I have that service as hard as well. You've been doing that, helping your clients along the way.
Right.
So
right. Yeah, I just think it's really important. I've talked to retirees who they don't understand it, and maybe called a 1-800 number, don't know who they're talking to. It's just, somebody on the phone that want to dump them into one bucket. And it just doesn't work. I shouldn't say it doesn't work. A lot of people get very good service and, they get the right plan, but they get the right information at that time. But down the road, what do they have? Who do they call back if they have a question? If they call the same number, they get the same person, or they go through a phone tree, or, who knows who they're talking to. So I think customer service, servicing clients is really important, to be there for them and to be able to answer those questions. And
as we go along too, and this is something we'll disclose more on the live stream, is I really believe that the retiree market particularly is going to be limited in how they get their information because of what's going on within the agent realm of things. There's certain things that are going on that are going to make it difficult for agents to share information to retirees. And then the other thing that's happening too is the insurance companies are going to be forcing more and more digital. And there's just a lot of people in retirement that are not digital. And so I know for myself, and I've shared it with Leith as well, is we're incorporating systems that if you just have a smartphone, you have the ability to work through this new age. We make it simple to work through this age. Like Leith, you and I know we were dealing with somebody here in the last week or so that doesn't have a computer, doesn't have an iPad, right? How do you work that through with somebody that wants to have that customized coverage? And then when it comes time to figuring out how to get that in place, how do they do that in the digital world? And so we're going to go ahead and work through with people on that, as we've done it before. We do it all the time, that getting that hand holding going through. So that's kind of the new world we're living in. Is there's changes going on. We're here to help, but we can't. And Leith, tell me this: you've only got so many hours in the day. I've only got so many hours in the day, right? And so we're just having to help who we can help and keep those relationships. We can't help everybody. And as we get in the program too, we're going to talk about folks that we can't help. There are people we cannot help, and we're going to talk about that in the program. So, well,
and I think too, it's it's kind of a myth these days that, all these retirees, they're on their computer all day and they know how to use it and they're on Facebook and that's really, maybe the majority, I don't know, but I've run into a lot of people that don't use a computer. They don't know how, they don't want to know how, they have no interest in it. And so I kind of feel like they fall through the cracks. They see an ad on TV, they call a number, they fall through those cracks, and they don't get the old-fashioned, I guess, individual customer service that they would need to make those decisions.
And we also like to help rural folks, right? You're a country girl, you love your horses. I've fed the horses, had the sheep, right? We like to help the country folk, you know?
Right.
So there would be folks that we know we were talking to, and we're in the Northwest. If you're on a farm, let us know. We'd love to be able to chat on the phone or whatever it may be, because we love helping country folk because they think like us as well. So that's some good news there. If you're living out in the country in the great United States of America, out on some kind of piece of property, let us know as well. So anyway, all right. Well, let's jump off and we'll go ahead and see everybody on the live show. It's streaming out here on Facebook and YouTube. Tell your friends about it. We're going to go hot and heavy for about several weeks down into the probably end of November, and we look forward to seeing you online. Ask your questions on the website here as well. Bring your questions in. Let's chat about those. We're going to unfold the Medicare and You book as we go along as well. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. And thanks, Lee, for jumping on. We look forward to a great journey.
Thanks, Mark. Great.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.